I'm just thinking I should just mute it. Let me check. I don't see it. Thinking I should just mute it. Uh-huh, okay. But I don't see our videos there. Okay. Yeah. Okay. It's just showing the cover. So, okay. Yeah. Awesome. Awesome.
Hello. Hi,
Hello,
everyone.
everyone.
Hi. Today we are live with the amazing Elle.
Hey.
She got the same second name as me, so you can consider us
Yeah.
sisters. Oh,
Oh,
and
hey. We can see ourselves here.
yeah, you can see it. Are we good?
Yeah,
Am
yeah,
I
yeah.
looking good?
Yes, you're perfect.
Thank you. So I wanted to apologize for last week because I didn't go live. I promised, but I didn't. Sorry, guys. I was sick. I don't know what was it. It was like running nose and itchy skin. I think it was allergy or maybe it was a weird kind of flu or something like that. But this week here I am, and I got a very special guest today. We're gonna talk about her journey in 3D. In She got a lot of experiences, and I'm really excited for today actually because I know that she's got a lot to teach us because she's really experienced. And I'm not gonna talk too much. Please go ahead and introduce yourself to me and
Sure.
others because I also don't know much about you and I'm really excited. I'm gonna ask a lot, but I will try to hold it and not interrupt you too much.
No problem. First of all, I should say hi to our
Mhm.
friends who are joining and watching us. It's a lot for me just to talk with you about my experience, and thanks for inviting me for that live.
Oh, thank you for
And yeah,
accepting.
no problem. So, my name is Al. I'm a producer in CGI industry, pretty much in animation, VFX, and game. And should I stay for you to ask me a question? I can continue about my
No, you
journey.
can. I mean, I'm gonna interrupt you for sure for asking questions, but first, I want to know when and how you started because it's really important.
Mhm.
Because I know
Yeah,
that many of us, I mean, me personally, I started with architecture and then I
I
quit
get
my
it.
job. I quit architecture and then I started to learn by myself. I find out about the industry and I left everything behind to do what I'm feeling passionate about now.
Yeah.
And I know that many of us have the same kind of experience
Mhm.
because I don't know, I heard it a lot from my friends who are doing the same thing that they got different job and then they quit, they started to learn by themselves, and I want to know how did you start actually.
Yeah. Mm, that's really a great question, especially in this industry that everybody's
Mm-hmm.
coming from other worlds, and seems like we meet each others in the projects. For
Yeah.
me, I studied software engineering, but the story of starting the software engineering backs to the time that I was 12. I introduced to the computer
Wow.
when I was 12, and I was learning computers, pretty much doing things with the help of that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, it was the Windows 98 or XP that
Mm-hmm.
we were working with. And I found out that there's something like video games that I can play. At that time, if you remember, we had Sega, we had consoles, we had Sega, we had Nintendo
Mm-hmm.
in our hand, and playing games in computer was another world and a different experience. My first experience was with Tomb Raider, Lara Croft, that I got into the to something just got me that I should work for this kind of things. I didn't know what what it
Yeah.
is. I didn't know where to start. And pretty much many of us, when we see a movie, animation, or a
Exactly.
game, we're like, I want to make it, and we
Yeah.
don't know
How?
the behind
Yeah.
the scene, yeah, and we don't know how many people working there, and we're
Yeah.
just like, I want to make it, and we don't know where we want to start. So I waited just to go to the university, and in Iran,
Mhm.
I born in Iran, and
Mhm.
in Iran, it was like at that time there were no game or animation major in the universities, and I was like, okay, so it's something related to computer
Mhm.
and something related to software, and I heard something about codings for gaming, so maybe the software engineering would work and help me,
Mhm.
which really helped me, and I'm gonna
Mhm.
explain you later. And then little by little, I started doing some jobs in the tech industry, in IT industry. I started working as a networking administrator,
And how old
and
were you when you started to work actually?
I was 20. I was
Oh
20.
wow.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Beside my studying, I started
Mhm.
working, and I was really a curious person, and I wanted to jump into the industry,
Mhm.
and I wanted to work. The work matters for me more than just study things, and
Mhm.
I started just working, going from somewhere to another. Then I started teaching computer, and none of them just would lead me to um, go to the making game or animation.
Mhm.
And I just knew that I want to make a game and animation, but it's not the way. Little
Mhm.
by little, I decided to change the industry, and that was just a pivot point of my life, that
Mhm.
I decided to go do something very differently to just earn money to learn animation. At that time, there were courses about animation and game in Iran. There weren't that much about game. There were about animation, and I went to a boutique
Mhm.
to sell clothes to people to just have earning. And then with that money that I earned, I started to join the courses and learning from animation.
Mhm.
That course helped me a lot. That
Do
my
you remember
mentor,
which course was it?
it was a general making animation in 3ds Max course
Okay.
that
Was it
at that
in
time I
Iran
lived in.
or
Yes, in Iran. At
okay.
that time, I was about 26-ish that
Mhm.
I started that course, and then my mentor found out that I'm very passionate about the industry, and I wouldn't
Okay.
leave him if he uh, just doesn't introduce me to the industry first. So he invited me for a project as a previous, as a rough layout artist,
Mhm.
working in a previous, and then little by little, I show up myself, and my knowledge about management, my knowledge about coordination of a team.
Mhm.
And I got lucky to invited as a production manager to an animation. At that time, I was learning Unreal Engine as a level designer.
Mhm.
And one of the production manager I worked with knew that, so she decided to invite me for a project that they wanted to make an animation in Unreal Engine. And she knew that I could be useful for that. And it was just like the beginning of the professional management
Mhm.
for me. And I worked at that project as a production manager.
Mhm.
And then little by little, I just saw myself that I'm staying at this role,
Mhm.
and I love management. And I'm thinking that what I dreamed about,
Mhm.
making a game or animation, is here. I love to plan a project. I love to make a timeline for it. I love to negotiate with the client, and I love to uh, meet with team and deliver the whole project. And little by little, I started learning about management. Management has lots of side in animation and game industry. You should learn about the pipeline and learn about each team's details at what they're
Mhm.
doing. And on the other hand, you should learn about the management style, management method that exists out there, and
Mhm.
also about the business and marketing. Because little by little, when you became a producer, you should know all about these things because you want to pitch a project,
Mhm.
you want to plan a budget, you want to plan a timeline for your team, and you're responsible for the whole delivery of the animation or game that you're working with. So you have to know a lot. And little by little, I started passing courses, and during all those experiences, as you know, I moved from Iran to Turkey
Mhm.
and then United Kingdom, and now I'm living in the US. And the thing that I'm really proud of
Mhm.
for myself is that I really try to gain experience and also knowledge at the same time.
Mhm.
So I started educating myself by applying to courses, and also I found out that out there's not much. Courses about management in animation and game.
Mhm.
And I started to transferring the management style and method for myself. And
Mhm.
that just encouraged me to start my YouTube channel and Instagram page to tell my experience and knowledge about management
Yeah,
to
in
other people.
fact, I saw you making really good content on Instagram. I didn't know about your YouTube channel, but I know
Mhm.
you make really good content on Instagram. But is it in Persian or also in English? I think I saw you posting a few times in English as well, right?
Instagram used to be in Farsi,
Mm-hmm.
but little by little I decided to change it in English because
Mm.
more of the Farsi people know English, but
Yeah.
English connect me to the international world.
Mm-hmm.
And but my YouTube channel started in English, and it is still going in English.
That's great. I think you should continue in English because, as you said, like many of Iranians, we speak English. So
Mhm.
it would be useful for like people who are in Iran or also from around the world because it's in English
Yeah,
and pretty much
yeah,
everyone speak English around the
yeah.
world.
I also got this suggestion from one of my friends that
Mm-hmm.
if you want, you can put a caption in Farsi, but it's better to
Yeah.
just make it in
Mm-hmm.
English. And I thought that, yeah, that could work.
Yeah. So, how do you define your work, a producer? I know I asked you before the call because I was curious, like, what do you
Mhm.
actually do? But I want you to explain to also to the audience
Yeah,
and also with more detail because I'm still having a bit of curiosity, like, what do you actually do?
yeah. When we call ourselves a producer in CGI industry, there are differences and there's similarities.
Mm-hmm.
In a film and in film VFX and animation, normally producer is someone responsible for communicating with client, responsible for planning a project. As a matter of the budgeting, we call it in VFX biddings for the project,
Mm-hmm.
and also the payment plan and other stuff, and is responsible for the delivery. But there's another role in animation and VFX industry called production manager, which is
Mm-hmm.
responsible for team management, timeline management, and delivery of the team, and communicate with team members, artists, and technical people. But in the game industry, it differs a bit.
Mm-hmm.
When we call a producer, the producer could be like a production manager
Mm-hmm.
communicating with that, depending on what type of company you're working.
Mm-hmm.
And it could differ if you're working in a small company or big company, because
Mhm.
sometimes big companies has their own definition of
Mhm.
people.
Their
Some
own
have their
policy, it's changing
yes,
from company
they're
to
pretty much
another.
saying you that okay, you're
Mhm.
responsible for this or responsible for that. But normally, when talking of a producer in gaming, you're pretty
Mhm.
much responsible for communication with team, because big production in game is very different, and managing the budget and pitching it is very different than when you're talking about film or talking about animation. It's cinematics is and films are pretty much fast paced,
Mhm.
and managing those budgets and teams are very different. You normally have one or two team that you're working. Projects come and go very quickly, but in game you have a team for 3 to 5 years you're
Mhm.
working with. So you're pretty much working with a bigger budget in
Mhm.
the game industry. But the thing you need to know is that you need to know marketing, you need to know business, you need to know communication is the
Mhm.
most important thing that you need to know. You need to know negotiation. You need to know management styles works for each project and each um, uh, industry that you work in,
Mhm.
and you have to know all of them about. But as I told you before, it's not something that you go and learn. You say that okay, I want to be a producer,
Mhm.
so I go learn these things and I become a producer. Being a producer um, is something that you make it little by little, and,
Mhm.
normally in each industry they expect you to start from the entry level, like you start as an assistant in a VFX and animation industry. You can start from being a runner, and
Mhm.
then come in and being assistant, a coordinator, production manager, and then a producer. It's the steps that you pass for being a producer. But in the gaming industry, it differs. Sometimes you come from a QA role. Sometimes you coming from the art role and you're switching. Sometimes even you coming from a recruiter role and
Mhm.
you're switching to associate producer. And and from associate, you start being a senior producer and then
Mhm.
going to the executive levels. And the thing is, there are differences and similarities doings in each industry, but sometimes people focus on just one industry, like just film, just animation, just
Mhm.
cinematic, just game. But sometimes people like me love to just do all of them together, and uh, you become capable of doing everything at the same time.
So
But
you
it's hard.
also
It's hard. You have to
Mhm.
learn a lot.
So you also did like 3D and
Um,
animation.
yes.
Both of them.
Animation, normally, animation could be 3D, could be 2D, could be live action,
Mhm.
could be anything.
Mhm.
And I did 3D animation, I did 2D animation, I did live action,
Awesome.
I did VFX, yeah, I did games. And I also did I work for some AR company that
Mhm.
working for applications and things.
Mhm.
But you know that, but you know the management and you know the
Mhm.
pipeline and detail. You can switch between these industries.
Mhm.
It's not that easy. Sometimes you have to go for just a beginner level if you wanna get in, but if you did it and you have it in your resume, so you did.
So talking about communication, I know that you wrote something on your Instagram bio. You translated this book, which is
Mhm.
called The Body Language, the Digital Body Language, right?
Yeah.
So I really want to learn some digital body language. I feel like I need to learn communication. A part of me doing this kind of, live sessions and, talking with other artists is like I really want to communicate with other artists because through this communication, not only I get to know you as an artist, as another individual, I also get to know myself because I know myself through the communication with you and
Yeah, yeah,
others.
yeah, yeah. That's pretty good point you're saying that through
Mm,
communication you can know yourself better. Yeah,
exactly.
that's really good point. Yeah, that's what when I moved from my home country,
Mm-hmm.
the first country that I lived was Turkey. I didn't know any word in
Mm-hmm.
Turkish, and I remember it was hard communicating with people. But they are so kind people, and they started to communicating with me with the body language, and they help you. They all the
Wow.
time when you ask a question, even if they didn't understand what you're saying, but they gave your hand and try to help you, and that was
Oh,
very,
that's so
very
sweet.
yeah, that's very sweet. And you learn things, you
Mm,
learn that even if you don't know the language of people, but
mm,
something would go, and this is the body language that we're
mm,
talking about. But when I moved to the UK, so I could speak English, I could write in English, but I felt something off. And
mm,
I thought that I need to work on that, and that someone should tell me something. I started digging in
mhm.
to understand what's the problem, what to understand. Even if you learn about passing the IELTS test, which is pretty good, very good in learning communication. But there's also other details. As I told you, when it comes to body language, when it comes that people seeing you, you getting the
Mhm.
other hands and helping people, you would communicate. You would see the eyes, you would see the body movement, you would see the tension, you would see.
Exactly.
But when you're behind your desk, you're sending someone and writing someone things. When we're talking through distance
Mhm.
and from distance and through this devices, and also when we want to communicate through ways that we didn't do before, like social media, like emails, there are a lot of things that we don't know. We need to know that when we write a sentence, but the what is the message of that
Mhm.
sentence that we send to someone,
Mhm.
and what should we expect to that from that person to respond us. And
Mhm.
also, there are some rules of using communication, digital way of communication, like
Mhm.
emails and social media. That is what I will learn. I started reading this book, Digital Body Language, written by Erika Dawan.
Mhm.
She's working, she's a keynote speaker talking about communication. And it was very interesting for me because it mentioned that how digital body language could affect our life, our personal life,
Mhm.
and also our professional life.
Oh, wow.
How should we use the emails? How should we, e- mm, even a dot and an exclamation mark could just
Change the whole
uh,
tone of the
change the
message.
change the tone, change the message, and change everything. Change the
Mm,
result of a negotiation could rely on that.
that's
And
right.
then when you see this, you will ask yourself that, okay, what is this body language and what should I know about it? So she started explaining that, explains that first of all, what affects on understanding a sentence from someone and
Mhm.
seeing something from someone, and which is culture, the gender, and the even the age of those people.
Mhm.
And also, the good thing is that she has a solution for that. There's a matrix. I say she invented it herself, that it's a communication matrix that works a lot. And when you see yourself, she has a solution that if you see yourself at this point of this matrix, so it's better
Mm-hmm.
to do this. So I found out that it's a very cool thing, and because many Iranian are
Living abroad.
immigrants, and I
Yeah.
yeah, and I saw it that the difficulties that I have, I seen in other people.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that it's good to translate in Farsi to share it
Mm-hmm.
with other people, and also
Yeah.
introducing it to other people in the world that okay, there's a this book exists
Mm-hmm.
and you can use it, you can read it, and it helps you. It helps you when you connect with someone.
Mm-hmm.
Especially these days, we pretty much rely on networking when you
Mm-hmm.
want to work, when you want to find a job,
Mm-hmm.
uh, finding a job is pretty much on your networking. 80% of the jobs coming from your network.
That's right.
And most of the time, especially after COVID, people learn that you cannot go see someone,
Mm-hmm.
but you can connect and communicate through meetings, through emails.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
And for me, someone working in production, I told you that the communication and negotiation is very big part.
Mm-hmm.
When you want to talk with a client, when you want to negotiate about money, when you
Mm-hmm.
want to negotiate about a project. And
That's
most of the
true.
time, these things are happening nowadays, happening far away through digital
Mm-hmm.
tools. So we have to know that.
Yeah, I think it's very important because also for me sometimes, I look at the conversation in the chat or in the email and I'm like, okay, here when I wrote thank you, this really doesn't mean I'm thanking the person. This means like I'm giving the confirmation, like thumbs up. Yeah, I will do it. It doesn't actually
Yeah,
mean
yeah,
thank you, but in the communication, everything can change. and
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah,
it's really important. Sometimes you can say something like, I will send you the file, but with this tone, and the other person gets offended because that's not how you should say it. And it's really
yeah.
important, as you said, like many projects, even big ones, rely on how you communicate with the client or even inside the teamwork. It's also very important.
Yes, 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 yes. It's so
Yeah.
important. I think it's important for any individuals to learn about
Mm-hmm.
communication. Human live in society,
Mm-hmm.
and we
True.
have to communicate with each other,
Exactly.
and we survive through communication.
Exactly.
Survive through social life. So we have to learn. When we just when we born, we're
Mm-hmm.
through the family. We have our parents,
Mm-hmm.
and we see people around us.
Mm-hmm.
So we copying people around us, and we're not thinking that okay, how important it is to communicate with other people. We go to schools, we find friends, and we keep our friendship and for a long time, but
Mm-hmm.
when we decide to get separated from them,
Mm-hmm.
we move or we're just immigrate from a country to
Yeah.
another, we will understand that something's up. We didn't
Mm.
learn something. We were
Yeah.
just copying and we didn't know how important it is to communicate with others. And so I'd say for us, that would be more important, and we see the
Mm.
urge of it, other than other people that living with their families or
Mm.
friends.
That's true because even if you don't move from your home country, it's
Mhm,
important for us as 3D artist or some related work that we are
mhm.
like literally working from our home, our table that we're sitting, our desk. We are working with the whole world, with the entire world, and it's really
Yeah,
important to know how to communicate with different cultures, with different people. And
that's
just it's important to all of us to learn it, not just one individual because we moved.
yeah, yeah, yeah. thinking about that and talking about that, I must say that all the management methods coming out of the communication skills,
Mm-hmm.
all of them, and all the rules coming out of that, especially when you're working with creative people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I found it that all
We
people
are
are
all
sensitive.
introverts. We don't want to talk to anyone. I mean, look at me. I'm literally
Yeah.
doing this kind of lives because I
Mhm.
want to communicate with people. Imagine I'm always in my room, hiding myself from the outside world, and everything is online. Like I'm always with my phone, I'm always on my computer, and it's
Yeah,
really hard sometimes to communicate actually. And
yeah,
it's not
yeah.
like
That's
sometimes it's not like I'm not able to do it. Sometimes it's like I forget how to do it because I'm always in my room doing stuff and I'm always alone.
yeah. You feel something is off, and you feel something's
Yeah.
bothering you, and you don't
Yeah.
understand that communication,
Hmm.
and even having a digital communication through these things. I must say that these days that with this just economy
Hmm.
that just costs nothing for us. Send
Hmm.
someone a message and just talk with them
Exactly.
through the social media or through the meetings or
Hmm.
whatever that uh, we prefer. I can help us for that.
Hmm.
So, and we could earn, I'd say, that pretty
Yeah.
much about these communication.
Exactly.
If we know how to start it and how
Hmm.
to continue it.
I really want to read that book now. I think I
Yeah.
need it.
I just read it five, 6 times even after I translated this book. But
Mhm.
sometimes I get back to it.
Mm.
Sometimes I get back. There are some books that works like pretty much a reference for me. This
Mhm.
book is one of them. You know that you just remind yourselves
Mhm.
that communication is because through my job is like I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and it's very easy that you used to things and say like, okay, I get used to this, and this is this
Mhm.
way, and this is true. But when you get back to the book and you say, no, no, this is not right, you're doing it wrong, and it's better to improve it. And
Yeah.
there is every time with people there is something that you can improve because
Always.
uh, yeah, yeah. People are different. People are
Mhm.
different, and however, they are similar at some points,
Mhm.
but there are difference. And the way if you know that you could touch those differences,
Yeah.
that touches their hearts, you know.
Mhm.
And I'm always saying that a good manager is a manager of the hearts of people,
Mhm.
not just managing the tables and
Mhm.
managing the schedules.
Right. So you said you moved to the US like a
Mm.
year ago, right? Almost a year
Yeah,
ago.
yeah.
And did you first get the job? Are you working in the like VFX or?
No, no. I'm working as a freelance producer now,
Mhm.
and I came here with my husband that
Mhm.
he had the right to work here,
Mhm.
and I still waiting for my right to work, and so
Mm.
because of that, I have to do freelance job. But
Okay.
yeah, but for
It,
me, networking doesn't
mhm.
stop.
Is he also in the industry? I think. Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
he's.
What does he do? Maybe next time I should interview him.
Yeah, sure. He's
Yeah.
a lead character artist at Blizzard.
Oh, that's great. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
Like artist couples.
Yeah, kind of. We met at
Yeah.
a project and Argenia
Yeah.
started it.
That's
Yeah.
great. Do you sometimes get conflicted on, doing something together, or you never work together? It's like
Actually, that was the first and last one that we worked in a project with each other, but we pretty much
first and
planning.
last. That's
Yeah.
funny. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. But the thing is, because we got separated and I went for other company, work with the other
Mhm.
companies and he worked with the others. But
Mhm.
the thing is, we sometimes plan to work together, but as a
Mm,
passion project, working at the
okay.
same company and in the same project. That doesn't it still doesn't happen, but I'm not sure if that happened.
Mhm.
That could go. Uh,
So you do
um,
some passion
yeah.
project together.
Yes,
That's
and
awesome.
that living together is like a project.
Yeah,
If
that's
communicating is
that's
a
also true.
partner.
Yeah. Do you
But
have?
we
Mhm.
we learn from each other, especially me. I learned a lot from Omid. He's so talented, very creative, and he has very, very, very great eye. He helped me in project, at first when I started managing project, I had the management side of the project. And little by
Mhm.
little, we talked about the project. He started helping me to understand the artist better.
Mhm.
He taught me some ways. I participated in some courses regarding arts, understanding the
Mhm.
process of the art, and also that um, helped me to understand to have a better eye,
Mhm.
and he so sometimes we don't know that the necessity of having a good eye as a producer in project, but you have to work with people, you have to hire some people, and
Mhm.
if you have good eyes and seeing the good art, that will help you
Mhm.
a lot. So he helped me a lot on that side.
Mhm.
We're sharing a lot of information between what how a manager thinks
Mhm.
and how an artist thinks, and we're trying to somehow match things together, and
Mhm.
it helps me a lot. It really helps me.
That's great. So you get
Yeah,
along together very well, both in life and also in work,
yeah, yeah,
helping each
yeah,
other.
yeah.
That's great. Do you have something in your portfolio that you would like to, share your screen and talk about it or show us?
I just prepare something that I want to
Okay.
share with you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my projects are pretty much like on my Instagram and my portfolio and on my
Mm-hmm.
website
Okay.
that we talk about. But what I like that we talk
Mm-hmm.
is that a topic that we already mentioned in our
Mm-hmm.
talk that about the industry, and
Yeah.
I really want to give you some other insight of
Mm-hmm.
industry that you might not heard of or
Mm-hmm.
you didn't think about that. I'm
Mm-hmm.
thinking that it's useful people know it.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I already, changed my perspective to the way of communicating actually by just a few minutes of talking with you, and I'm really
Oh, that's
eager
so
to
cool.
read that book. Actually, D-Max, one of my friends, is asking for the name of the book and the author in the comments on YouTube. Because
Uh-huh.
yeah, the
Maybe I
author.
can write it down in the chat.
Okay.
They just
Because I don't know the author actually,
recording.
but the
Yes.
name of the book should be something like
I
the
write down one if I'm
Broken
ready.
Posture Painting is
I send it to the
mhm.
chat.
Okay, I will read it now. We have a comment. Love the backstory and the connection
Oh,
between
thank
your
you.
management skills and your art.
Thank you. Thank you.
And Elahe Khalili is it wrote something. Digital Body
That's me.
Language by
Yeah,
Erica.
yeah,
Ah,
that's
okay. Ah,
me.
it's you. Okay.
Yeah,
I was
I
actually
know the
reading
name.
your your comment.
Yeah.
I was actually thinking, okay, who's Elahe Khalili? Because I also have a friend that I met in Shahrak Ghazali in Cinema Town in Tehran.
Uh-huh.
She was working with me in the production of the TV series Salman Farsi, Salman the
Uh-huh.
Persian. Yeah, and we were working there, and her name is also Elahe, and I for one second I got confused. Maybe it's her, and then I was like, no, but the same name. What is going on?
No, I just answered the friend asking for the name of the book. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So, I wanted to ask your opinion about AI actually. Do you think how much AI is going to take our job as 3D artist or related in the industry, related jobs in the industry, like a producer or
Mhm,
manager or whatever? Do you think we should worry about it or not?
mhm,
Specifically, I'm asking this question for those who are like young, really young
mhm,
people who are always worried and asking me, like I see them texting me on Instagram and my on my
mhm,
website asking, oh, I really want to start, but I feel like if I start now, maybe I will waste my time, my young
mhm,
age, and I will lose time to, to learn something better because in the future, maybe AI is going to take our job, and I'm not sure about it. And
mhm.
I would really like to know what do you think on this subject?
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, I want to tell you something and then answer this
Mm-hmm.
question.
Okay.
That I want to tell you something about the industries, and I want to share some insight about when an industry born and the life cycle of an industry.
Mm-hmm.
So that could help you to understand, even if you're a senior level or entry level, that if you want to enter a job, how you should see that job and mm, the existence of that industry relies on what things.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the thing. When we talking about industries and everything's till now is invented or is made for the sake of assisting human beings or
Mm-hmm.
for the sake of serving to humans. So there are industries. When looking at the industries, there are static industries and dynamic industries.
Mm-hmm.
Let me give you some examples. Static industries like clothes, like food. People always need food.
True.
People always need to wear something.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there are other examples that you can find on the other side. Or when it comes to a government all the time have needs a border. A government need to defend that border.
Mm-hmm.
So a government need to have a good protection. So rely on military. A government need to provide their people food, which are very basic.
Mm-hmm.
So have to just put budget for that. And the government should put budget for people wearings and needs. So
Mm-hmm.
why I'm saying this is that you will understand the importance of the things and you will make decisions. Now, taking back to the dynamic and static. So the static could be like food. And why we call it static? Because it's the process of making it, it barely changed. You know, we start just planting these on ground, we just harvesting them. We have machines, we have things that it just helps us to improve the process. But it's pretty much the same things that happening, and the need to it doesn't change.
Mm-hmm.
And the more population grows, the need goes higher.
Mm-hmm.
But thinking about the industries that are dynamic, which our industry is a dynamic industry, what does it mean? It means it changes rapidly. Why? Because it's rely on technology. Technology, when technology changes, our life cycle of industry changes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you might see or you might have friend that started making animation uh, in 2D animation and they're doing it on piece of paper
Mm-hmm.
and your friend might doing betweens.
Mm-hmm.
And then that friend these days doing 3D animation, modeling, animating, whatever stuff. So that friend sees three, four different life cycle of this industry and
True.
live and change her or himself to that life cycle.
Yeah.
And we get this gets even less than a century,
Mm,
let's say about 50 to 60 years, we see that change. That it started from one day, that it was
mhm,
on piece of paper, and then it came to the computers.
mm,
It was at first 2D,
mhm,
and then it became 3D, and then we see that the engines, and now we can have animations,
mhm,
films, games, and all these things together.
mhm,
Here's the thing. This industry is very dynamic and is pretty much rely on technology.
mhm,
Here's another thing. Any industry needs support and needs money to exist. And you see, if you want to enter an industry, how important that industry is for the government and for the vote.
mm.
Why? Because this industry needs money to exist. This industry needs budget. There
True.
are countries like US, like India, like China that they're working on it. You see Hollywood in US, you see Bollywood in India, you see other companies in China, and you see that how much they and uh, they're investing in
Mm,
game, especially in game. These days, you see that they even invest in animation, and they sharing. What was the animation? The name of the animation, Neja or something. That you see that they just
mm,
investing on these things.
mhm.
But you need to see that what chunk of the budget of a government goes for this industry that you want to enter, you know.
True.
By understanding it, you would understand that, okay, I want to go to this industry. This industry is very creative, it's very competitive, but I would know that. So if it's a dynamic industry, so and it's pretty much rely on technology. So if any technology change,
Mhm.
everything change, and I would change.
True.
And
Am I willing
if
to change? That's the question.
yeah, that that's the perfect true question.
Mhm,
Am I willing to change? Because if I'm not willing to change, I
mhm,
will go to small group of people.
mhm,
I would go very small. We see it
mhm,
in 2D animation that it goes that way, that it's kind of like was hiding from the industry. And then
mhm,
little by little, now these days we see more 2D animations again.
mhm,
So think about it like this. If I want to do this, if I want to be in this industry, what country I want to be there, or what country I'm living?
mhm,
Is this an important industry for the country that I live? That they put it in the budget, that
mhm,
want to support it or not? Because the support of it doesn't matter for you that the time that the layoff happens or something.
yeah, makes
And
sense.
then think about it like that, that it's very fast paced. And there might be a time that something completely disappear from this industry. Like you
That's so
don't see.
scary.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
that's very scary. And you need to think about it. So where are you now? What you
Mhm,
gonna do? And about AI. AI is another way of technology. AI is uh, AI was in the tools before, but the problem these days happening is the generative AIs, which has the problem of morality.
mhm,
You know, it's getting people jobs, it's getting the other idea, it's copying it, and easily and quickly just generate it to and give it to others.
mhm,
There are companies using, and you see that people are speaking up about that, that they want to use it. You see that in Hollywood,
mhm,
people supporting it. You see that in some gaming companies, they're supporting it. So it's nothing in our hands that I can say, okay, it's gonna get our job, it's gonna what do or what not to do.
Mm-hmm.
It's I'm saying that the technology is changing,
Mm-hmm.
and you must see it. Now it's up to you if you wanna learn. And here's the thing: you need to learn. If we go to that stage that we want
Mm-hmm.
to make animation, what I believe that it's not changing is this. If we go to that stage that the animation is changing,
Mm-hmm.
the pipeline is changing, and we're going to use the new tool for our project,
Mm-hmm.
where we stand, what should we do, and what could we do for that
Mm-hmm.
project. And another thing that I say is that if that's going to get that easy, that everybody can make an animation or game.
Mm-hmm.
So you yourself, I'm asking you, what type of animation or game you're gonna go for if everybody can make one? I myself, if I want to answer, you tell me your answer yourself. My answer is I go for those have a stories,
Mm-hmm.
has beautiful arts. If their game has their very, very perfect gameplay, I
Mm-hmm.
don't want to go easy for them because they use the tools and they easily jumped and make a product. And I want to pay for it. Even if I want to play it free or watch it free, I want to pay my time for it. So that must be something attractive. That must be something very good. So with the knowledge of the art that you have, with the knowledge of the game design that you have, do you think that you're capable of writing a prompt that giving me a story or animation or the game that I want to watch or want to play? Why there are tons of games and animation for me to watch and play?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm talking about fundamentals.
That's
Fundamentals doesn't go anyway.
actually a perfect response. I love how you explained it, honestly, because I thought about it like as you mentioned about harvesting, like planting and harvesting for food,
Mhm.
which is something that we need, we have been always needing food. We are needing it now, and we will always need to, plant and harvest and eat.
Yeah,
And technology is changing also on planting, for example, food for food. And before this, maybe we were using animals to harvest, and now we're using machines. And when the machine came, all the farmers didn't stay back like this. No, from today I'm not going to work because the machine is going to do my job. No, people
hmm,
change their job based on, the new
yeah,
technology, which were machines,
yeah,
and they didn't lose their job. They just they took it to the next level, and
yeah,
the process for them was slow. Like this took many years for us
yeah, yeah, yeah.
to,
That's right.
yeah, to reach this level of technology in planting. Maybe because we don't need that much of effort for planting, and only simple machines for now can do the job for us. But with technology in our industry, as you explained, is like it's already dynamic, because even without AI, you have to, as a 3D artist, as a digital sculptor, which is me, I have to every year update myself based on new market, let's say, even
Yeah,
for the
yeah, that's
market,
right.
based on new technology, new techniques for sculpting, in anything. The way that I'm interacting with my clients, the way that I'm finding my clients, which companies I'm working for, I have to update myself every year. And with AI, honestly, I think AI will not take my job in the future. Maybe it will, I don't know, but I feel like it will not, because I'm willing to change myself based on what is coming. So if AI will make my job easier, I'm happy to use AI. But as you said, if it's gonna just steal my job and give it to someone else for free, then I'm absolutely 100% against it, and I wouldn't like it. Imagine, like, as it's doing now with 2D art, that is like getting other illustrations, one thing from this one and two thing from the other one, and then merging it all together and generating an illustration and call it AI artwork. This is
Mhm.
this is not AI artwork. This is AI stealing from other artists, and I'm completely against this.
Yeah.
But if it's something for like making my job easy, I think I would love to actually use it. Just like the machines for harvesting, you know?
Yeah, if you want to use it as a technology, it's always good. And I remember that every one of us, if you remember that I was telling the story of myself,
Mm-hmm.
everyone was started to say that I want to make these things. And I
Mm-hmm.
didn't know how many people working for that. But if the small amount of people can gather in a group and make a content that works, and it gets not that much of a time,
Mm-hmm.
that's very perfect. But think about it. Who wants to watch it if this is an animation, or who wants to order it if this is a product, and who wants to play it? And in the world that everybody can do these things,
Mm-hmm.
you should know that your audience expectation goes higher.
Mm-hmm.
So they're seeing you and they want you to give them a very perfect product,
Exactly.
you know? So think about it like that. If you want to step in this industry, and if you want to work in this industry, you might not need to go just learning about the other softwares out there, but you should and must learn about the fundamentals. You should know arts. Even if these days there was funny trend happening about the Ghibli studio, that
Mm-hmm.
people started just sending their images to them, that it just transferred it to something so called Ghibli studio. But anyone with the eye,
Mm-hmm.
that understanding art, would understand that it's not Ghibli.
Mm-hmm.
It has a lot of difference. It's not that pure art that it came from that studio and mind of those people, and you see, and
Is it
you
AI?
saw, sorry.
Is it AI you
Yeah,
said?
there's a trend, AI trend that came out, that
Mm-hmm.
people sending their pictures and they just
Mm-hmm.
take out the Ghibli studio photo of themselves, and they started sharing on social
Ah,
media.
right. I think,
And
yeah, I
when you
heard about it. Yeah.
yeah, when you see those pictures, go and check them again,
Mm.
and just put it aside as something that come out of the Ghibli. It's not the same. It's so called that they're copying it. They're very big copy of it, and
Mm-hmm.
only a good eye could understand it. And then people start to see things. People understand. People
Mm.
really understand, and people for people matters that what quality you just give them of
Mm.
any product you just give, even if it's a food, even if it's a clothes, even if it's the animation or game.
Mm.
You see that out there, game players, when something is they're very royal. When something's out, and even if an indie company make it, they start supporting it a lot.
Mm.
And you see that they understand that, okay, that put a lot of time and effort to make something beautiful like this, so we will support it. But on the other hand, when something comes out of the triple A
Mm-hmm.
studios, will start just to hitting them that hard, because they're saying, okay, we pay that much of money, you pay that much of budget, that many of people work for that, and you're giving me this.
Mm.
So you need to think about the people expectation, that you're
Mm-hmm.
going to sell your product. Your product is an animation, your product is a picture, your product is a game to those people, and people want to choose among the ocean of games and
Mm.
animation.
That's
So
right.
yeah, but they choose.
Where do you
If
want
you
to
don't,
stand in the ocean? It's very
yeah,
important.
yeah, and if you don't know the arts, if you don't know the
Mm-hmm.
fundamentals, if you don't understand the basic of storytelling, so you don't understand that, how come you can make something
Mm,
and that thing comes out
mm,
and could you could sell it and it could compete with other good things out there. I'm telling you
mm,
this. That
mm,
think about it. Maybe there will come a day, maybe
mhm,
that AI does everything,
mhm,
so we're doomed to extinct. Mhm.
mhm,
But we're not at that level. We're not at that level, and I fear not. It's better to think about it like it's better that I learn storytelling because the idea of making animation in a game is sharing a stories through visual
mhm,
uh, devices. So learn storytelling, learn art, learn game design if you
mhm,
want to make something that people love to watch,
mm.
love to play.
Exactly.
Otherwise, if you're thinking that this is passion for you, and you want to earn money something easier and less competitive, I'd say you can think of it like go for more static industries
Mhm,
and keep it a side hustle. Keep it a passion project.
mhm,
Don't go for it that professional that put that much effort and time that you don't give that much of just response that you expected.
mhm,
If you're thinking that that would be like you put to it's a good idea that you're measuring
mhm,
I'm doing thing and I'm gaining what I'm gaining uh, on the other side is not something that I'm expecting with that much of effort.
mhm,
If you're thinking like that, I'd say you can go for something needs less effort,
mhm,
give you something balance in balance
mhm.
with the amount of effort that you're uh,
You're putting
doing,
in. Mhm,
and yeah, and you're putting in, and then you should go look at it like a passion project,
mhm.
like something uh,
Like you do as a hobby.
beside what,
Yeah.
yeah, as a hobby, beside
Mhm,
everything that you're doing, you
mhm,
want to do something little by little, like a child, you're growing it up just
mhm.
like this. But if
Makes
you're coming in
sense.
this industry, I'm
Mhm,
telling you, it's not just because of AI.
mhm.
It's because of the nature of this industry is dynamic. Everything changes very quickly.
That's
And
true.
if you read the history of this, it doesn't have that much of a history, but if you read the people um, saying about the industry, there are books about that,
Mhm.
and you see that layoffs happening all the time in this
Yeah.
industry.
Yeah. And we hear it a lot actually. Our friends or
Yes,
our
yeah,
colleagues.
yeah,
Yeah, we
yeah.
hear it a lot actually.
Yeah, even if someone is working for 30 years in this industry, you can ask them. They saw at least 2 or 3 times a layoff, and they
Mhm,
got laid off
mhm,
um, for 2 or 3 times. It's a nature of a industry like this that
mhm.
everything changes very rapidly, and
Exactly.
you have to change with that.
Mm,
Yes, this industry needs a lot of effort.
that's right. I agree with you.
Yeah.
And we have some comments here. Rehana Mukaddam is saying hi. Hi, Rehana.
Hi.
We should have
Hi.
you someday on the live.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. And she also wrote the critical content AI is started. I'm hearing you and really want to know what is in your mind about AI with two background in the arts and industry. Could be useful. Discuss both sides of that. Well, I think we covered
Mm.
it, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
Yeah. And then
I think it was.
another comment from their Wetmean, but isn't it quite clear that AI isn't going to take the jobs of artists, but the immortal application of it, as well as the huge impact on the environment in regards to energy costs? Well, yeah, I
Hmm.
think I agree with you because it's like
Yeah.
Well, in any way, I see AI or any kind of technology just to, make life easier for the artist. I don't see AI as an artist because it's not possible. It's literally collecting data that already exist to generate something, and I don't call it art, honestly. It's not
You
pure.
know, what I'm saying is that people learning
Mm-hmm.
from the beginning, after learning, they start copying. And if we could have
Uh,
something to
mm-hmm.
do to generate things like our brain, we can tell that they can get those copies and somehow making art. But the thing is, the point is, that one is AI, you are human. And those are two different things. And another thing that our friends mentioned here is the cost for the
Mm-hmm.
using of the uh, I don't know, natural resources or things. I'd say things like this is pretty much relies on governments. That when the government see, like, if you saw that when China didn't have the AI and they started having a regulation on AIs in the US, but when the China just released that AI, the US companies started just fighting back that, okay, no, they're gonna advance us and we have to have AI just like with no sensors that they have.
Mm-hmm.
So when it comes to things like that, and when it comes to become a threat for governments, I'm thinking that they're seeing it otherwise. They're seeing it another way that we see. And I'm seeing it that like it comes to exist,
Mm-hmm.
it comes to continue, it comes to get support.
Mm-hmm.
But what's gonna happen for human beings? What's gonna happen in for the future relates to the future, and we're living in now. I'd say, see it like that. There still exist some companies that you can work, and I say that it's better to, if I want to say something very frankly, is
Mm-hmm.
that working and focusing on small businesses is better than big, because when it comes to normally in business, when it comes something you want to change something or some changes just applies to the industry that you work in, you can pretty much adapt yourself with the changes when you're small than you're big.
Mm-hmm.
So the differences that I see is that you have to think about the small businesses around you, and if you want to get higher and go for them than having a dream, big dream of working like
I
before,
love this.
working for
I love
Disney,
this.
Pixar, Blizzard, or things. So
Mm,
that way you would be more safe. And from the business side again,
mm,
when you have a small business,
mhm,
you can easily go find some way of existing, like alone, like
mhm,
going for charity, like going for crowdfunding and things like that. But when you get bigger, first, you have a company that government pretty much need you, especially your tax.
mm,
Second, so at these times, businesses try to just announce bankruptcies. So
mhm,
that would affect everyone that working for them because they don't want to pay back to government and they want to
mm,
save whatever have there for themselves. That's pretty much makes sense.
mhm,
But when you're working for small studios can rapidly can change their structure. They can find a sponsor easier. And so I'd say if you want to play safe, it better go for you to go for small businesses or a small animation or game studio that
Mm. Than the big
you can,
ones. Mm.
yeah, and you can, and these days you can get the pretty much the same result
Mm-hmm.
with a small studio.
Even with the
Uh,
payments.
yeah, because uh, technology these days helps
Mm-hmm.
you that with a small number of people and those technology, you can get a very good result. And
Mm-hmm.
you know, don't need that much of big people. Before that, yeah, we needed before having this facility, let's say for gaming.
Mm-hmm.
If we wanted to go for publisher, if we wanted to sponsor, that would be a very hard time.
Mm-hmm.
But now we can publish our game, self-publish it on Steam. So
Mm.
we can make it with small team and with a small budget. Think about it like that and
So,
measure it like
mm-hmm.
that. How much effort you do and you put how much effort on things
Mm-hmm.
and how much you would gain as a
Mm.
profit.
Mm.
Always think about that.
Right. So, do you think, like, I think I already know what is your response because, as I understood from, the last
Mhm.
part that you mentioned, do you prefer freelancing to working for a company? I think, yeah.
It depends. It
Okay.
really depends.
Mm-hmm.
It depends on things. Sometimes people feel more safe
Mm.
when they go and they hire with the company. But freelancing gives you more freedom.
Mm-hmm.
You can work for more than a project. You
Mm-hmm.
can switch quickly, and sometimes you can live in countries that
Mm-hmm.
the differences between currencies can help you better.
That's right.
So it really depends on what you think. People are different. Sometimes I say people that maybe if you want to have children, maybe
Mm-hmm.
US is not a good place for you,
Mm-hmm.
but maybe Europe is better. But maybe if you wanna have your business, maybe here is better.
Mm-hmm.
It's my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so people must see that what's their end goal and what they want to do. If
Mm-hmm.
you're a single young person, so you have all the world to experience.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're not, there are so many people having children.
Mm-hmm.
So there are things that
You need to
uh,
consider before making a move.
yeah, come and
Mm-hmm.
come in priority. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you have to
Mm-hmm.
uh, see them like prioritize things
Mm-hmm.
based on your need.
I
But think
also,
about it.
mhm.
Mm-hmm,
I also realized that you mentioned that there's a lot of difference. I mean, in different countries that you worked for. For example, you
mm-hmm,
mentioned about
mm-hmm,
Turkey being so friendly and using the body language to help you, and then UK was kind of different, and then now experiencing US. What do you think
uh-huh.
is the main difference between these three countries, at least?
The thing I wanted to mention, and that's a very good question that you ask of me, is that not just based on my experience, I want to tell to those of you out there that living in a country and thinking about moving from a country to another, check the countries, the government's style that they
Mm-hmm.
have. If they are because there are differences between a country that has a capitalism
Mm-hmm.
and countries that are managing with socialism.
Mm-hmm.
So the expectation are different, and there's
Right.
also uh, what and you need to check about the advantages that some countries giving to you as an artist. Let's
Mm-hmm.
say there are countries like Spain like Austria, I'd say that they're giving artists talent visa. It's got nomad visa,
Mm-hmm.
and but I see that for some people, it gets if you want to get stable and get the residency of that country, so that would take you 10 to 12 years,
Mhm.
and you may live under stress to renew your visa every 2 years. So I'm saying if you want to see what matches your needs best,
Mhm.
study the countries, study the government side, study the taxes, study the cap of the payment and the minimum wage,
Mhm.
and then see your expectation,
Mhm.
where you are and where you want to be. Sometimes I have friend, she lives in Germany. She
Mhm.
says that for me, living the life in a small home that I can go travel with the public transportation from country to the country is enough. So I'd rather Europe than the US.
Mhm.
Mm. And the salary that I'm giving is enough. She's working in another industry, totally
Mhm.
different. But I'd say, no, that's not enough for me. I want to have my own business. I want to grow. I don't want that government put a cap on my earning. I want to tell it myself and align it with my needs.
Mhm.
And I want to work however and whatever I want.
Mhm.
So my mindset differs from my friend. So I'm telling that yeah, even the Turkey that you
Mhm.
mentioned, we lived there. They were very friendly people, but there's not much of our industry there that you
Mhm.
could work. So that gets you hard to communicate with colleagues, to
Mhm.
find colleagues.
Mhm.
But uh, thinking about that, you're in Europe,
Mhm.
you're living even in the UK, that
Mhm.
it's an island gets separated from Europe and it's connected to um, France, let's say.
Mhm.
So even if you're living in Europe and you want to go, let's say for NSC, you want to go for FMX in Germany, you
Mhm.
want to go for Gamescom in Germany,
Mhm.
you easily get a ticket from a train and you go there and get back. You need to think about it like that, that where you want to be, what you want to do, and what's your expectation about earning. And then it comes the culture, because the culture everywhere is different. And
Mhm.
as an immigrant, everywhere is different. And the culture shock is something real.
It is.
That yes, yes, it is. And you need to think about that. Okay, the culture shock's happening, the homesick's happening,
Mm.
and I never pay taxes in my home country that I have to pay there happening.
Mm.
And the new language happening,
Mm.
communication, different communication happening. Alongside all of that, I'm working for such a dynamic industry that's rapidly changing.
Exactly.
So you should put together all this information when you make decision about moving from a country to another and
Mm.
seeing it like that. Sometimes people asking me question and I'm telling sometimes based on their situation, frankly, that okay, it's not a good country for you. They just
Mm.
insisting and back and forthing with me that convincing me no, they think differently,
Mhm.
but they go and they see,
Mhm.
because there are things when you didn't live there, you won't and you don't know. But I'm
That's
telling
right.
you, check, yeah, check if your side, your the style of that people living in that country
Mhm.
matches your need, and the government. This is very important. You're paying taxes. The government would help you, and you wanna have your own work or business there, or even you wanna get hired. You would know that how open they are to
Mhm.
networking,
Mhm.
and how can they accept you as someone coming from other countries, because
Mhm.
this job is in high demand, this
Mhm.
industry is in high demand, so everybody's competing to get the
Mhm.
job. And so that makes sense is if
Mhm.
someone doesn't want to let you in.
Mm. That's right. I think I'm done with the questions. I don't see new comments to ask. I think people got a shock because I didn't go live last week. I was sick, and now I don't see many comments. Maybe people were not expecting me to go live. Guys, I was sick. I'm still here. I want to do this. I will be here. Probably next month I will be busy again because I'm going to be in Rome. I'm going to start sculpting with clay. I'm
Oh,
so excited
okay.
about it. Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah, I'm really, really excited about it. I'll be in Brian's workshop. Brian is
Oh, good for
amazing.
you.
Yeah.
Great.
For like I think 11 days, and yeah, I think I won't be able to go live. But the first 2 weeks I will be live. So next week I will be live. The Monday after that also I will be live. Wait for me. If I don't get sick again.
I hope not.
Yeah. If you have any final things to mention, any
No,
final
I
talks?
just wanted to thank you and friends that coming
No,
and joining us.
thank
Thank you
you.
for inviting me, and I'm hoping that I said something that could answer your
Of course.
needs and questions. And just I'm hoping that I just enlightening something for you on this way,
Absolutely. I
because
loved our conversation, and your responses
thank
were really logical, like out of, emotions. Like you said everything clearly, explained everything perfectly, and was completely logical, especially the part that you explained about AI and how it's going to be in
you.
the future. Is I think responding the question of many of those who are passionate about the industry but scared of starting. So it's like
Yeah,
you have to consider some things before starting, and you mentioned all of them, I think, perfectly.
yeah, yeah.
So thank
So
you
I'm
for
happy.
accepting to be here and
No,
talk.
thank you, and I'm so happy that you give me good feedbacks, and I'm hoping that friends have these feedbacks too, and they
Yeah, I
could find.
see
uh,
people writing thank you was amazing. Rehana, thank you for watching. Dmax, thank you for watching. Thank you everyone for watching.
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah. So I will not take your time more than this. Thank you again for being here tonight.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
I
I
hope we,
really
we do
enjoyed
this
it.
again.
Sure, sure,
Yeah.
sure. Maybe in the near future we can do it, and
Yeah. Maybe with a
yeah,
more specific question.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, sure, why not?
Yeah. All right. Thank you everyone for watching, and I will see you next Monday, even either with another artist, or I will be sculpting by myself. And have a nice evening or day. Bye bye. Bye, Elahe.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.